Welcome to another Soccer Down Here 1v1, and we're catching up with a man who is very busy at the moment. So busy, in fact, that he is doing this segment from his car, both hands on the wheel, we have been assured, and through the ways of looking at things these days as we can record everything, I can vouch that he has both hands on the wheel, and he is paying attention to his driving. Dale Parker, the head coach of Appalachian FC, getting ready for the East Region playoffs. Dale, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys having us back on the show.
So let's go back through the playoffs. And I know we talked about the semifinal leading into the final, but then you look at all of the pictures that are being released after the match is over. If I had told you that the final score was going to be 6-2 in your favor, what would you have told me?
Certainly wouldn't have believed you. It's just an incredible night. Our opponents, North Alabama, gave us a really good battle there, in particular in the first half. I think they were very well prepared for the match. I don't think they expected such a wave of attacking flurries as we had at the end of the first half, combined with the excitement from just a massive number of supporters yet again at the Ted Mack Stadium. I think it just got a little bit too much for them, and the fact that we were able to put the finishing touches on it with goal number 4 and goal number 5, and then obviously towards the end the game just kind of filtered out when they scored and then we scored again. I think by that point it was done with, but overwhelmed with the support that we got, and obviously the way the boys put the foot down and really ended that by half time was very pleasing.
When you look at the playoffs now, the way that the East Region playoffs are structured, Keystone champ, Mid-Atlantic champ, North Atlantic champ, Southeast champ, seeded 1 through 4. Right now in the East Region, 1 through 4, New York Shockers at FC Motown, and you as the 3 seed. And I've seen in some polls and power rankings that Appalachian FC was ranked like 21st in the country going into last weekend. You have to go to the Alexandria Reds for your next match. When did studying start for this one?
Immediately. I said to a lot of people immediately after the game on Saturday that our eyes have to quickly shift now to Wednesday. We'll be doing this group of players and this team an injustice to just set up what we've already done. As soon as our heads came back down to planet Earth on Sunday, we're eyes on games from Alexandria. I do have a close connection, a close tie to that particular part of the world. So I spent 4.5 years in Northern Virginia, so I do have a lot of people up there that I trust, and obviously watching the film for myself over the last couple of games from Alexandria has given me some thoughts. But I think any opponent that you play at this stage is going to be good. You don't win your league and your conference tournament by not being good. You can't just rely on luck. So I think every team that's left in it at this point has got there through hard work and by being a top quality team. So we'll anticipate that on Wednesday. But at the same time, I'm confident in the group that we have. So I'm very confident in the players that we've put together and the way we're playing right now. On the flip side, I wouldn't want to be playing against us. So that's the way we're looking at it.
And in Alexandria, you're looking at a team that put up 3 in the semifinals in a win, and then just decided to go in an absolute shootout in their conference final, winning over Northern Virginia United 6-5. Those are some intimidating numbers to see on a board before you go in to study. I mean, when it comes to your advanced studying, and you can break some secrets if you want. I know that you've got your sources and everything, but when it comes to formation and all of the studying that you've done, what's your biggest overlook, your oversight right now in Alexandria? What kind of a game do they play?
I mean, 9 goals in the last 2 games speak volumes about their willingness to go forward and commit numbers forward and score goals. But on the flip side, we scored 10 goals in 2 games. So I'm sure they'll be thinking the same thing. Neither team prides itself on keeping clean sheets by the looks of it. So one thing that we can promise is goals. And I'm not gonna single out players from the opposition, but there are some guys that we need to keep a close eye on. But at the same time, they're going to be doing the same thing with us. We've got guys who For example, we had a guy score a hat-trick and a guy score two in the final. So I'm sure they'll be targeting one or two of our guys. Listen, we're going to focus on us for the most part. I think all the information that I have on them, we'll subconsciously transfer some of that to the guys, but most of it is for myself and for my staff, just so we're aware of one or two nuances that they might continue to do when they play against us. But the biggest thing for us, focus on what we do really well. And I think if we show up and perform like we have done and perform to our potential, I would not be surprised if we're having this conversation again on Thursday or Friday, preparing for another one on Saturday.
How difficult is it in the NPSL to have a squad from a continuity standpoint, because you're in the summer and because you're dealing with athletes that have to go their separate ways, whether it's back to school or back to wherever? How difficult has it been to maintain continuity for a season that has been as successful as yours is, and now you're in plus time now with everything else that's going on around you there at App FC?
Yeah, it's hard enough without having a postseason, to get there and trying to get happy. Because ultimately, you're bringing guys in who are good players on their college rosters, and they're not used to not playing. So it's hard to keep those guys happy. And we've had this season with a much bigger squad than we had last year. And with that, has come a lot of different conversations. It's a natural thing. It's not anything that anybody be fearful of or take personally. It's just the situation that we're all in. That the players aren't bound to the contracts. They're not bound to colleges or classes that they've got to attend. They're here because they want to continue to train and continue to play. And a lot of it is selfish reasons why they're here. And that's not a dig at the players. It is what it is. It's selfish because they want to stay fit. They want to stay strong. They want to perform when they go back to the college environment. And some of the teams have to manage that. And we're very thankful this year that the players that we've still got around, still 20 plus players who will be going, to Alexandria with a squad, but we've got to pick from 22 guys. We can only use 18. And I was speaking to one of our owners this morning. I don't know how many teams left in the competition are still picking a squad of 18 from 20 plus players at this point. Because now, like you said, this is the time when players start having one eye on returning back to college, and maybe one or two of them have the pressure to go back earlier than some because they want to make sure that they're in the thoughts when they start pre-season. So, yeah, that's going to be a factor over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully we can hold on to as many of our top players as possible. But like I said, we've got 22 fit, hungry, willing guys that want to see this through. And no matter what happens, they'll be able to put a strong team out there.
I want to get into the fan support here a little bit before we go, and thanks for doing this. Dale Parker, the head coach of Appalachian FC, as he is preparing for the playoffs and the postseason of the NPSL. He's got a road trip midweek against the Alexandria Reds in the East Region semis going at it. So you're looking at this group that with Appalachian FC and a fan base that lost its college team in App State. Then you have this group come out, and you have this that it was organic last season and it caught fire. What has it been like in year two with the successes that you've been having, now getting into the postseason with all of this momentum? What's it been like up there this year?
It's been amazing. Last year was such a it was all a new thing. No one really knew what to expect, and the turnout that we had first season was cool. Like, we weren't expecting it, but then as the season went on, and we went on this roll at the end of the season, having had such a slow start, and we had the run of home games, it was just wild, and the atmosphere, it was crazy. And we always knew, like with most startup teams and most startups in general, how do you top that? How do you go more than that? Because the expectations last year were to just be there. Can you be around the playoffs? Can we impact the league? Can we put a team out that gets people excited, and can we get fans to support the team? Well, making the playoffs, I think, really sort of whet the appetite of the local community, and the idea and the thought of potentially one day hosting a playoff game got everybody excited. So that's been the goal this year, and we felt that at home games. The support has been a little bit more intense from our own supporters, the squad squad, the supporters club, the local community that's been coming out to games. It's been a bit more intense. It's been a bit more of an expectation because we put that on ourselves. One of the goals was to finish top 2, so we can reward those guys with a home playoff game. We did that, and then from that point on, it's just been. I mean, if you've seen any of the videos and the pictures from Saturday night, it wasn't a team celebration that was just players, coaches, and owners. It was a full community celebration, and that was probably one of the most pleasing things, that we're able to give back to a soccer community that lost, a mainstay in that community, a team that had been around for decades, that meant a lot to a lot of people. On Wednesday, we felt that full responsibility to give it back to them in the semi-final, and then on Saturday to reward those fans who have been hurting for a couple of years, and some of the players who still play for AppFC, who was on the team at App State. It was almost a bit of a vindication for them, able to lift the trophy on that stadium once again, and contribute to the success of high country sports, because that's all they know. They know winning. They know challenging for trophies, and we're able to do that in year 2, which is really exciting.
Dale Parker, head coach of Appalachian FC in the East Region playoffs. East Region semifinals coming up in short order in the midweek. App has to travel to Limerick Field to take on the Alexandria Reds in 3 versus 2. And the East Region final will be in 5 days' time on the 23rd on your Friday. Dale, as always, thanks for hanging out with us here for 1v1s to keep everybody up to date on what's going on with App FC. Both hands on the wheel. Continue, please. And so we will catch up with you down the line. Good luck midweek, and we'll hopefully do this again at the end of the week.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.